And maybe you can talk to us about the penetration issue, because when we are talking about economy doing very badly, and you want to push this technology to the end user, what are some of the ways, for example, apart from tax and import duty and all that, what other challenges do you meet along the way?
In terms of adoption?
Yes,
So there are quite a number of challenges sector players within the cooking space have been able to have been facing. So these cuts across three areas. In broader, from where we talk about an enabling environment to where we are talking about end users or even the demand side, and also the supply side, where we have these sector players who are in production, in manufacturing, and also in distribution. So one of the biggest challenges that people face is access to finance, because some of these technologies are pretty expensive. We are talking about issues to do with quality, and that's where now CCK lobbies and works with standardizing bodies like KIRDI, Kenya Bureau of Standards, and also EPRA in regulation of some of these standards, so that we can be able to have quality products that are out there. One, that address the issues of efficiency, so that we have less emissions in terms of the limits that are supposed to be there when you're talking about issues to do with safety also. So that we can be able to address some of these issues. So that has been also a big impediment. And there are quite a number of innovations that have been able to come into play. We've seen a lot of carbon financing issues coming, carbon financing, whereby the sector players who are within this space are able to access these finances and are able to subsidize these solutions at the end or to the last mile. Yeah.
Okay. And according to you, as a country, where are we at compared to Africa, compared to the global community?
I would say as a country, we are not doing that well, because access to clean cooking right now plays around 20%. Access to clean cooking. So you see,
really low.
That's really low. And we did a sector study in 2019 that shows the figures was between around 70%. So there's a huge untapped vast majority of people who are still using these traditional solutions, and there's need to be concerted efforts from all areas, from government to private sector, to be able to really address these gaps. Yeah.
Maybe from a point of development, you can tell us, those countries that have been able to adopt very well, what are they doing differently that we can equally, maybe copy and paste? Because that is how countries and regions, develop and transition to better ways of doing things. And I'm sure you are aware of countries which are doing very well, up to maybe even almost 100%, but here we are at 20%. What do we need to do as a country?
So there are quite a number of things that people need to be aware of. Like, for example, when we are talking about the developed countries, the access rates are very high. So when you're talking about this access rate of 20% with the world trackers on the SDG, there are quite a number of things that we can be able to really embrace as a country, and this is what CCK has been able to really push for and really create awareness around. One, we are talking about issues to do with awareness. Are people within the brackets of 70 to 80% using of these people who are using these traditional rudimentary solutions? Do they have options? Are they aware that there are different technologies, fuel technologies out there that they can be able to embrace and really use to save on some of these things? We are talking about issues of embracing biogas. The penetration rates are still low. it could be a solution because we are an agricultural country, and there are people who are down there who have a lot of animals. They can use that as a raw material for doing that. We have issues with briquettes. They can be able to, and also either carbonized or none. Briquettes alternatives to charcoal, they can be able to make it from their homes. We have areas where we have either low grid or even grid access. There's an emerging technologies where the government is pushing for electric cooking. Are people aware that cooking with electricity, with these electric pressure cookers, is cheaper than using charcoal? The people are aware?
No, people are not aware.
Yeah.
In fact, the idea or the myth that is there is that electric cooking is very expensive. You'll find someone, they'd rather struggle with smoke and the normal charcoal than use their electricity to cook.
Yes.
Maybe you can shed more light on that.
Good.